a little bit early today. Normally I go between 7:30 and 8. But I've done all my jobs. I've done all my things today. So I thought, why not? Let's just do it now. So what we're going to do tonight is the buttonhole bar stitch. This is a new stitch that I've never taught before. So yesterday's was new, today's new, the whipped fly stitch is new, the single feather and the feather is new, and we've got this one over here is new, and this one is new, so we've done a lot of new stitches, and that's kind of the point of this stitch along. So where these are going to go is here, these little stick things like this. Okay, and I've kind of scattered them around. So I've got some here, a couple over here, and a couple over here. You can do as many or as little of these as you want to, okay? You do not have to do them all, especially because they are a little bit tedious, okay? And you're going to see what I mean in just a minute. So let's just do one. What you're going to need is you're going to need a color of thread doubled, okay? So fold it in half, all right? So I do the knot at the end, and then this side is just like the needle is encapsulated by the thread. Do you know what I mean? I like to do mine like that. And then what I've done is I've got a different needle with the same color, but it's just one. So we've got 6 strands on this one and 12 strands on this one, okay? We're not going to use them at the same time, so you can use the same needle if you want to. All right, so what we're going to do here, steady. I'm going to do this one right over here like this. You're going to come up here like this with your 12 strands, and you can do 1 time, you can do 3 times, you can do 5 times. It just depends on how thick you want this to be. So you don't actually want it to be like really tight to the fabric. You could even have it humped up like this if you want to. However you have this is going to be how your buttonhole bar lays, like it's going to stay like that. Okay, so essentially what we're doing is we're going to do however thick you want this, and then we're going to do the buttonhole stitch on just this bar, and it's going to make it thick, but it's going to make it however this lays, that's how it's going to be. So I'm putting it to the side so you can see. If you have it flat like this, it's still going to be up off the fabric, but it's not going to be like humped up. Do you see what I mean? So it's still going to be off the fabric. We're not going through the fabric at all with our buttonholes on top of this bar. Okay, so if you leave it like really humped up like that, that's how it's going to stay. Okay, does that make sense? So have a little think about your tension and how you want these to lay, okay? This, I think, would probably be a bit too humped up, you know, too 3D for my liking for this hoop, because everything else is fairly flat. So if you had just a small slight hump like that, I think that would be quite nice, okay? So they're going to kind of come off the fabric a little bit. Now, the other thing that you need to think about is how thick you want this bar to be. Okay, so I've got 12 strands. Oh, I keep doing that. There right now. Okay, you can go again. So just in the same hole right next to it. Just make it, I don't know how long this thread is anymore. Okay, all right, let's just keep going. You could even do it 3 times. You could do 4 stitches here. All we're doing is we're making a really nice thick area to stitch around, okay? That's it. So if you don't want them to be like super thick, then you could stop there, or you could do 1 more. I'm going to do 3. So that's 12 strands, okay? And 3 stitches with 12 strands. We're just going to make sure all of those are about the same tension, okay? Now, really, you can keep this right here, going to zoom back out again so you can see. You can keep this right here. You don't have to make a knot or anything like that, because what we're going to do is do the next one, all right? And because we have 2 needles, yeah, we're going to do the next bit with our second needle. And that makes it so that after we're done with this one, we can do the bars for this one, and we won't have anything in our way around here to get in our way when we're working. Because we're just going to come up here from the back with our color, and then we're literally going to do the buttonhole stitch around here. Okay? Ah! Dropped it. Let's just zoom in like that. Okay, so if you already know the buttonhole stitch, then you already know. But what I like to do is make like a little 4 when I do it like this. So imagine you've got one of those, like, you know, like those old-fashioned 4s that are like a triangle on the top. You're going to make your little loop like this, okay? And you're going to put it under this part, but then over the top of this part. I don't know why I think of it as a 4, but I just always have. Okay? Then you can do that again. So under this one and over that one. I hope that's clear. For some reason, my phone looks a bit like, I don't know if it's that I've zoomed or if I'm too far away or what is the deal. Let me just see if I can make it a bit clearer with how to do it. Okay, so you're going to make your loop on this side, come to this side, go under the bar, and then over this part. Okay, I think it's because when I'm videoing, sometimes it's like it's not very clear at all when I see it. But then when I look back, like on YouTube or on just like Instagram, it looks okay. You know what I mean? So maybe it's just like me and what I can see. So yeah. What do we think of this stitch? Now, obviously, the tighter that you pull it, this buttonhole part, okay, the tighter that you pull it, the more squished these threads are going to be that we just did. So I did 12 strands, yeah, and I did 3 stitches. So altogether, that's 12 times 3, which is 36. So I've got 36 strands here. And you can see kind of how thick it's getting. And we want to cover up all of these, the bar part. We want to cover all of that up. Now you can experiment with the different strands. So you can make the bar itself thin, or you can make, I'm not going to lie, this is giving bullion stitch to me. I knew it would. But I'm willing, okay? I'm willing to do it for you guys. If you're new here, I hate that stitch because it looks like a different kind of worm that likes to eat dead bodies and dead things. So I'll just leave it like that, okay? It's kind of giving that to me, I'm not gonna lie. But I still think it looks cute. So, and then when you're all done, you're gonna do your very last stitch and put it right down. Tuck that in like that. And we did it, guys. You've done your first one. So let's zoom out again and see what it looks like. I've used the same color as over here to make it a bit cohesive. You can turn the sides. Okay, so they're like that. So like the little hump is on the top, or you can make them lay flat on the side like that. What do we think? So we're going to put a bunch of little ones all around here. Okay? So I'll probably do one more and then just love you and leave you. Yeah? So we can just move this one here to the side, okay? And pick up our other needle and then do some more bars. I'm just going to have a little look and see where that is. These are twisted. All right, and then just do another one. Now, these don't have to all be the same color either. They could totally be a mixture of colors. You could use a variegated thread. Like I got this pink one. It's from my mom's stash. So JP Coats, okay? But this is like a, no, that's black. But this is one that changes colors as you use it. So that could be quite fun to kind of go up and down. She's also got this blue, which is one I almost used yesterday, but instead I used this purple and pink one. So something like that could be fun. I thought I had a red one. Yep, I've got this red one here too. So I've got a red and orange. That could be really fun. You could just do plain colors. You could mix two colors together. So like 2 or 3 strands of one color and 2 or 3 strands of another color and mix that together. Someone did that on their shell yesterday and it looked incredible. It looked so good. And the texture it gave was so nice. So don't, what was that? If you haven't got variegated threads or you think, oh, I don't know, like I haven't really got like a lot of colors, don't stress out, okay? I'm just checking on the back because like I said, these were a bit twisted before. I think I've just twisted them again. Let's put it up on this side. Like that. There we go. And you can like do more or less strands. You could do really skinny little ones if you wanted. They don't have to be so like big and bold. Yeah, like it's totally up to you and what you think, okay? So that is how we do the buttonhole bar stitch. Oh man, I didn't do a banner. I'll edit it later. You know, for when I save. When I save it. How are you guys liking the banners, the cover photos for the reels? They're all a bit samey, which is a bit like boring on my profile. But I'm going to take them off my main profile grid and put them just on the reels page, you know, the video page. I'm going to do that soon. I'm also going to announce the very last orders for the advent calendar. With all the tariff stuff, it's been not that fun, but we'll see. The Harrogate show that I was going to do with one of my friends that was canceled is now back on. Well, the show was never canceled, but we had to cancel, if you know what I mean. That's back on, so now I'm slightly freaking out about that because it's a very big show. It costs a lot of money. So I might do a little re-release sale. I was going to do it in September and do all of the patterns that we've done so far for the pattern of the month and do a little re-release. But I think I'm going to do it like Friday because that'll be really good to start September like that. And then plus if there's any surprises because of these tariff things, you know, a bit extra, a bit of a boost. And they're all digital, so that's always good. And digital products are not in the tariff thing, so don't ever worry about that. You can also do them a bit twisty if you from my friendship bracelet days, okay? You can make them a bit twisty like that. You see the difference? So all I did was just slide my needle underneath like that, and you just pull that around, and they make them a bit twisted. So that could be fun if you like something like that. There we go. So that's it. That's pretty much it. So like I said earlier, the places you're going to put them are all these bars. Oh, sorry. So we've got these ones up here. We've got a little cluster down here. We've got a little cluster over here, and we've got a little cluster over here. Don't feel like you have to do them all though, especially if you're like not feeling the stitch. There are other stitches that we're going to do that you could use instead of those, if you know what I mean. So on the details day, there's other things that I'm going to show that you can do for those. Okay. So the only things really left for us to do is this one and that, and these up here. Okay. And then these little clusters here, which you all know are French knots. And then the tops of these, which are going to be filled with French knots. So we're almost done, guys. Like, I cannot believe it. And everyone's hoops look so good. I love being tagged. I'm going to go through and share a bunch more of them this evening. And we'll be showing a bunch of little filler stitches so you can kind of fill in some of the things. Also look at other people's hoops too, because people have been using these here and putting little tiny little shells along the bottom. I've seen a treasure chest open with like gold spilling out. I've seen a shark. I've seen a seahorse. I've seen crabs. Like, there's so much that you can do with this using the stitches that I've already taught you. So honestly, very proud of you guys. And I don't want it to end, but I can't wait to see what you've done. Does that make sense? Like, I always hate when these end, I'm not gonna lie, because they make me feel so sad. Like, oh no, what am I gonna do now? We'll have another one in September, so, watch out for that. I haven't decided what it is yet. I've got a couple different themes, so I'll try and play around with them a little bit more and see what I can put together. And I might need to do a little vote. If you are in the WhatsApp group, you can use your 15% off for the pattern re-release. So keep that in mind as well. And it's not too late to join the WhatsApp group if you want to. I'll put the details of that in my stories tonight, along with sharing everyone's work. So enjoy. Again, love you and leave you, and I will see you tomorrow. All right.